Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to week 7 on the podcast. My name's Jesse Van Groenbaum, and I'm with my friend and colleague, Sydney McCann. Sydney, thanks again. Another week under our belt.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it. On this week, we're going to talk about the little things that make a big difference. So some of the culture, tangible benefits, and things just that make a healthy workplace. Sydney, from your perspective, you've seen the company grow and change over time. Is there anything that comes to mind when you can think about that attributes to a positive culture?
I think the biggest one is accountability. Mm-hmm. I think having support workers and managers who take accountability and have self-awareness is the biggest one.
It's huge.
And with that too, with accountability for managers, if you have somebody approaching you and saying, hey, this thing is happening, not brushing it under the rug, and just being able to address it in a kind, empathetic manner is such a big one. Because as soon as you start building a foundation of good support workers who are empathetic and kind with one another, you can continue adding in new people and creating a team that's built on that foundation.
Yeah, I've definitely, over the years have noticed that one of the perks to being a smaller agency, for those that you don't know, we're around maybe 100 team members, but the benefit to not growing too quickly has been really all the people that are here for the right reasons. Yeah. So their heart is in the right place. They bring such a strong set of values, integrity, compassion to the table. And that self-reflection piece you were just talking about really lends to our culture. That I don't want to say it's hard to get into GreenTree, but the company, it's all about the right fit. It's really, you have to be here for the right reasons. And that goes beyond the paycheck.
Yeah, 100%. You can tell when somebody's here for a paycheck. It's very obvious. Yeah. Everyone else in the team notices it, and it just doesn't work because everyone else is there out of love and care and respect for the person served, out of a passion for doing the job. And when someone's there for the paycheck, they don't do all the little things. The little things that really actually matter get missed right away. Yeah,
absolutely. What is some of the positive energy we kind of think and we talk about, what does that look like in the workplace? Like, what does that translate to in your opinion?
Oh, it's tangible. You walk in and the environment is happy. It's everybody just chatting about how the weekend went, about, the latest thing that happened with their kids or at school. It's somebody getting really tired during the shift and just saying, hey, can I sit on the couch for a minute? And the other person more than happy being willing to step up. Of course, I got this. I'll handle this for a little while. You take a break. And swapping when that happens for the next person.
Supporting your teammate, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Mental health, awareness of what someone just maybe went through or, just showing a little bit of compassion.
Yeah.
Goes a long way. Let's shift gears a little bit. What about, positive energy and, the vibe in the workplace? You can't force someone to be positive when they come to work. And ideally, people are happy when they come to work. But let's talk about, what about when that doesn't happen? How do we address that? Because I know that we have really open communication and we have strong feedback loops. But if something's bothering someone and we can see that in their work, how do we approach it?
I think 9 times out of 10, simply addressing it. Because we have built, like we talked about, that solid foundation of a empathetic and caring team. You can feel it when your coworker's off, or you can just feel it in your bones. And I often just say, hey, what's going on? Is there something up? And it's just a one-on-one private conversation, asking what's going on. Sometimes they simply had a really hard sleep or something's happening in their personal lives. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, being able to talk to me about it and sometimes finding like a little solution around it, it makes a world of difference.
I've always wanted to just know that we have, or just see that we've been able to create these beautiful homes and these programs where there's no place for drama. There's this sense of integrity of being committed to having sometimes uncomfortable, difficult conversations in the spirit of being curious to know, is everything okay? Or is there anything I can do to support? And I think that lends huge to the culture of being committed to not being passive aggressive or not beating around the bush, saving space for someone when they need it, but also being curious enough to say, if you need to talk, I'm willing to listen.
Yeah. Is sometimes the reason that you're coming in and you've got that low energy, the low mood, is because you know that you have to sit through the next 8 hours pretending everything's all right.
Yeah.
And that makes it harder to pretend everything's all right. So just giving that outlet, that room for them to speak about what's happening can be such a relief and a weight off of shoulders that it allows you to kind of start to take in the positive energy around. And then because you have a bunch of other positive coworkers around you, you can feed in off that energy. And it's such an incredible way to keep a good atmosphere.
Yeah, well said. I think all this culture just kind of ties into that. There's our demographics of staff. This goes so much beyond the paycheck for them. The paycheck almost feels like a byproduct of the good work that they do. Time and time again, people will continue to say, and either through a survey or with their colleagues, I'm here for the people we're serving.
Yeah.
And that mantra, that in its essence just makes the culture just so positive. It's really, really great. What about some of the team building that we spoke about and the team collaboration? What's something that we do that really brings that out?
Yeah, I think our staff meetings are huge. One of the things I've noticed through my time in the workforce everywhere.
Did you say staff meetings? Because when I think of staff meetings, I think, where's she going with it? This is boring.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more.
It's exactly what I'm going to say. Like my time in the workforce, I've learned that you can tell what kind of team you have by the staff meeting you're going to have. If you're having a staff meeting where you're sitting down and the manager's sitting at their desk and saying, okay, here are the things done wrong, here are the things to fix them, okay, goodbye.
So paint a picture for our audience.
Yeah.
What do the staff meetings typically look like at GreenTree?
Yeah, so that's what I just said. Up-down approach doesn't work. Generally signals not a great workplace. Our meetings are based on collaboration and teamwork. So you come in at, say, my resource. You come in, it's laughter, talking, everybody talking about how their month has been. Oh my gosh, I've missed you. I haven't seen you on shift in a while. What have you been up to? It's just a generally happy,
sounds like a connection point at its heart.
Point,
and
yes.
like the start of a team building. So I want to know more.
Exactly,
Tell me.
So just sitting there, I do run the meetings as the manager, but I would say that I do not talk the majority of the time. It is
Good,
often,
nice, well done.
I will bring up a point and then support workers tell the stories. And it's a form of reflection for each other, teaching for everyone, and then also problem solving.
Yeah.
I will always have like a list of things I don't know how to fix in my staff meetings, and I go, what do you guys think? You know, how do you think, what would be a better, protocol to develop for this? What's missing in this protocol? What can we do to allow this child to achieve this goal? And the facts are, I don't know everything. I also don't have the solutions to everything. But when you come together in such a collaborative, happy, open space, generally a solution's found because there's, 10, 11, 12 of you working on it.
Sounds like a great opportunity to teach, listen, and learn in regards to, from your colleagues, the support team that are doing the direct care, that know the people they're serving best, can really bring a lot of healthy information to the table.
100%.
How do you, and I love putting you on the spot, how do we balance if someone brings something forward and you're just not sure what to do with it? Do we just leave it by the wayside? Do we revisit it? Is it a team vote? Or do you take time to reflect on it? What does that look like?
I would say it's context dependent generally. If it's something that I'm just not sure about the logistics, about how I could make that happen, or if it's actually going to be of benefit, the whole team will weigh in. We all talk about the pros, the cons, alternative suggestions. And I would say 90% of the time, by the end of the meeting or by the end of that discussion, we've come to at least some sort of conclusion around how we can implement that and how we are going to change it so it's better able to be used. If it's something that can't be used, then I'll just say, I don't know if that's going to work, but I'm going to reflect on it. And then me and that support worker will come together in a week or two and we'll talk about, maybe if there's something else we can do to get at what they're trying to get at.
That's great. That's awesome. I really like to hear about that team collaboration, and I think that that camaraderie of just everyone coming together to be able to have an opportunity to share their voice and not feel judged, and that multi-lens approach. Many hands make light work kind of concept is great because everyone can kind of come together and contribute.
Yeah, and it's a way because I'm there, the supervisors are there, the support workers are there, and it's a way for us to have fun. I mean, our Christmas, we're doing a potluck, everyone's bringing a food, we have a Secret Santa organized, decorations. It's just, it's a fun way to connect and collaborate.
That's awesome. So cool. Is there anything else that you want to share with our audience today that you can think of just unwritten benefits within GreenTree?
I think a great way to kind of tie everything that we've talked about together, is simply a short little anecdote I actually have from last week.
Perfect.
We had a new supervisor. It was his very first day of training. And part of that, I just go through our general team, what it looks like to work together, what care looks like, things like that. But also just like going through each support worker and giving a little bit of information, things like that. And by the end, he goes, wow, you seem to love everybody. And it took me a moment, and I realized how lucky I am to hear that, because it just shows how much appreciation and praise and things like that go into our work with each other, to the point that I found it so normalized to give so much praise, to show so much appreciation, because the support workers are showing that to each other and they're showing that to me. And it creates a house of
positive culture.
Positive culture, thank you.
I know, for lack of better words, positive culture.
Yes.
And sometimes it's so easy to get into those traps where we notice everything that isn't working.
Yeah.
But when things are going really, really well, sometimes it's hard to remind, like, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
And that does tie into the positive culture. That is the culture of GreenTree. And I think, we won't stop at where we're at. We'll always try and strive for a little bit more, but that speaks volumes. That's really huge. Good job.
Yeah, I'm grateful to be in a team that's what the norm is.
Yeah, amazing. You heard it from Sydney. Thanks for joining today. And why did you laugh? I mean, that's it's true. It's true. We should be proud of positive culture and positive workplaces. Huge thanks for joining the podcast today. And stay tuned for next week.